Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, man, you guys know the deal on this channel. We must continue to set the record straight, stop the lies, stop the narratives, stop them from rewriting their history, guys. Hold these guys to a standard, man. And in this video, we're going to talk about we done with the 2010s, the playoff edition, guys. Now, you guys know on my channel, I've been doing a lot of before I was doing a lot of the we done with the 90s, trying to combat some of this nonsense, you know what I'm saying, exposing this era of NBA compared to the 80s and the 90s, the era I grew up watching with this we done with the 90s stuff. But in this video, we're going to talk about we done with the 2010s and as it relates to the playoffs. As you guys can see, the NBA is starting to take a turn with the younger talent starting to rise to the top and the 2010s guys starting to phase themselves out, man. And we're happy about this, man, because we are done with these clowns, man. And we're going to talk about in this video, man. And I want to thank you guys, man, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel, guys. Once again, I am truly humbled about you guys, all your support, man. Commenting, liking my videos, subscribing to my channel. Remember, guys, it's never been about you guys believing Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time or me convincing you of this. And it's never been about the money or the fame for me on this channel. It's not about the views or any of that stuff, guys. It's about setting the record straight, guys. So thank you for rolling with me, man. I know my videos aren't very flashy or fancy. So thank you guys for rolling with me, man, supporting me. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to do a brief video on we done with the 2010s, the playoff edition. Because as you guys have noticed, or maybe you didn't notice, all the older players have kind of gotten knocked out of the playoffs already. And what we have left is the new blood, the new age, right? The new era, so to speak, which is starting to come, the cream is rising to the top, so to speak, with some of the younger talent, the younger players that have been coming into the NBA over the last 5 or 6 seasons, man. And as you guys can see in the NBA playoffs today, or now, all we have now is the young generation, the younger talent, man. So basically, we done with the 2010s. These guys are done, man. The guys who have been tearing the NBA down for the last 10 seasons now, we done with these clowns, man. So we think about the teams that are still left in the playoffs right now. You got the Denver Nuggets led by Nikola Jokic. That's a new era player, man, right? Shout to Nikola Jokic and stuff, right? We think about the Minnesota Timberwolves being led by Anthony Edwards. This is a new age player, man. It's the new blood. Shout to Anthony Edwards, man. Like I said, going against the grain, man. Not doing what these other clowns have been doing, man. So shout out to Anthony Edwards. We think about Oklahoma City Thunder led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shout out to him, man. The new blood, right? These guys are starting to rise now. It's their time now. It's their time to shine. We done with the 2010s. We think about Dallas with Luka Doncic, right? A younger player coming up in the league right now, man. We think about the New York Knicks with Jalen Brunson. Once again, a new era, the new blood, right? Rising to the top now. We think about the Indiana Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton, right? This is the new blood, the new era players. We think about the Cleveland Cavaliers with a Donovan Mitchell, right? The new age, the new era players. And we think about the Boston Celtics with the Jason Tatum. Once again, guys, this is the new blood, the new era of NBA players. This is the era that we're hoping is going to change what we've been witnessing for the last 10 years or so. 15 years. It's been a debacle, guys, since probably about, I want to say from about 2013, 12, somewhere around there to currently. We've been dealing with a lot of the nonsense, and it's been because of these older generation players, the 2010 guys. They don't want to leave. These guys don't want to hang it up, and these guys are doing nothing to push the game forward. They have actually digressed. The game has actually regressed with these guys. And who are the guys that I'm talking about that we're done with? The 2010 guys that we're done with, that are not in the playoffs any longer, and we're happy about it. Obviously, LeBron James needed to retire years and years ago. I've told you guys on this channel, LeBron James should have retired after the 2017 NBA season. After that season, he should have hung it up, man. He's done nothing for his career since that time. He's done nothing to move his legacy forward. All he's done is taken away from his legacy. I've told you guys, he's actually diminished his legacy over the last 5 or 6 years, in my opinion. When you look at the flopping on the court, the standing around on defense, the walking off the court early, a lack of an overall game, never developed, no creativity. I mean, come on, man. Always getting his teammates traded, always pointing the finger at somebody else, always got an excuse, man. We're done with LeBron James. Everyone is done with LeBron James except for the LeBron James fan club members. And I've told you guys, all LeBron James fans are not real basketball fans because they hold this man to no standard. How can you support this man over these years with the nonsense? We're done with the 2010s LeBron James. Let's think about James Harden, another fool, another clown of the 2010s era that we're done with. We've been done with James Harden. We've been done with James Harden for years now, man. James Harden ain't never been that guy. They think that James Harden, you've heard people say like Daryl Morey, call James Harden the greatest scorer in NBA's history. A greater score than Michael Jordan. This is what they want you to believe, guys. These are the lies and the narratives. James Harden ain't being held to no standard. This man can't dribble the ball without carrying it. He can't do any moves without traveling. Those step-back threes, that's all travels, man. Right? All those years that James Harden was putting up quote-unquote stats, it was all flopping around the court, right? Taking advantage of the system, the NBA, the way it was set up. Taking advantage of the rules, man. Exposing this ever NBA. I'm not impressed with James Harden. And once again, James Harden never was there when you needed him most in the postseason, and he got exposed again this playoffs in the first round. And we're glad that someone like James Harden's gone. We're done with the 2010s. And someone like a James Harden, a guy who cares more about the clothes he's going to wear to the game, what he's going to do in the strip club after the game, than he does about coming to camp in shape, playing all 82 games, showing up for the fans, playing and giving that effort on the defensive end. No leadership, no heart from a James Harden. He's only there for the money and the fame. Guy's a clown, man. We're done with these fools. Let's think about Paul George, another guy from the 2010s era that we're done with. Pandemic P, who once again showed up the other night as his Clippers got eliminated in the first round. This man has done nothing since he's been in the LA. He's done nothing when he was in OKC. He's done nothing in his career. But you have some of these new age NBA players talking about Paul George as my GOAT. Are you kidding me, guys? Wake up, man. Open your damn eyes to the reality. Paul George is a good player, man, but he's nowhere on the level of the players that he thinks he is and that some of these other players think that Paul George is, man. He ain't that dude. He's Pandemic P. He's never there when you need him. He's very inconsistent, Paul George, at best. Very inconsistent, man. Pandemic P, man. We done with the 2010s. How about Chris Paul? Another guy that we're done with. Chris Paul, man, probably the most overrated point guard in the history of the NBA, guys, in my opinion. Chris Paul is completely overrated. He's not a winner, Chris Paul. And he's had some great years in the NBA, man. He's an all-time great player. No doubt about it. But he's completely overrated, man, because he plays in this weak era. And once again, Chris Paul, is never there when you need him when it matters most because he's always injured. There's always something going on with Chris Paul. It's always an excuse, right? This guy's blown 3-1 leads multiple times in his career in the postseason. Chris Paul. All his teams seem to fold up when it matters most, man. Like I said, his body will fold up when it matters most. We done with 2010s. We done with Chris Paul, man. Kevin Durant, another soft, sensitive, feminine fool. Kevin Durant, man. No swag from a Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's a front runner extraordinaire who thinks he really won 2 championships. In his mind, on paper, he's got 2 championships, but no one respects Kevin Durant's championships. No one really respects what Kevin Durant's done in his career. So once again, man, we done with the 2010s, and we're glad that Kevin Durant's got exposed and he's got bumped out of the playoffs again. Just swept right out of there. The man team couldn't even win a game. Not even one game. This guy's requested trades out of Brooklyn. He requested a trade onto the Phoenix Suns. He goes on the Phoenix Suns. He got Devin Booker there. They get Bradley Beal, and they do nothing. Literally nothing. What has Kevin Durant done since he's left Golden State? He's done nothing, guys. He's been exposed. This is why we're done with these guys. They're a bunch of clowns, man. They've done nothing to push the game forward. Kevin Durant. It's a joke, man. So as you guys can see, how about Kawhi Leonard? Another guy that we're done with is Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard, man, had a chance to be one of those guys. He had a chance to be an old school throwback player, a two-way all-time great player that gave the effort on both ends at a high level on both ends. Remember, when Kawhi Leonard was at his peak, man, 2014, 15, 16, 17, before that knee injury with Zaza Pachulia, a lot of people, Kawhi Leonard reminded a lot of people of Michael Jordan. Now, I never thought he was on Michael Jordan's level. He was not the athlete of a Michael Jordan. But he gave the effort on both ends. His game, the mid-range game that he utilized on the offensive end, reminded people of a Michael Jordan. And his defensive intensity, the pressure that he gave on the defensive end, right? It kind of made people think about a Michael Jordan. But over the last several years, since that injury in 2017, Kawhi Leonard has been a joke. This man has been in and out of the lineups. This man's missing playoff games. He's missing entire seasons. He's going back and forth with the managements. He's always acting like he's the victim. This guy's always this, always that. He's getting all this money in L.A. He goes to L.A. and does nothing, right? He asked for Paul George to come to L.A. with him, and they've done nothing. Those are the facts, guys. I don't want any excuses. The facts remain. Kawhi Leonard's done nothing in LA, literally nothing. At least LeBron James has a bubble championship. At least he made it to a bubble finals. Kawhi Leonard, if you guys remember, they blew a 3-1 lead. A 3-1 lead, the Clippers. So once again, I asked the little Kawhi Leonard friends, my man Kevin Kingslayer out there, what has Kawhi Leonard done since that injury in 2017, man? He's done nothing. He's continued to rob the NBA blind. All this money that Kawhi Leonard's getting paid, this man's not playing any games. No games from Kawhi Leonard. And once again, where was he this postseason? He wasn't there. He was banged up again, and his team folded up. These are the facts, guys. This is why we're done with the 2010s. This is why we're done with the LeBron James era. Nobody wants to watch these clowns anymore. No one wants to watch LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Kawhi Leonard or James Harden or Paul George or Chris Paul. No one wants to watch any of these guys, man. The NBA fans of today would rather watch a Nikola Jokic or a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Jalen Brunson, right? Or Therese Halliburton, maybe. A Jason Tatum, right? You'd rather watch some of the new talent come up, the up-and-coming talent, the new era. And let's see what these guys do. Are these guys going to follow in the same footsteps as these fools that came before them? Or are these guys going to flip the script and show us something different? Go back to the old school way of playing, where guys showed up to work 70, 80 games every season, gave the effort on the court. They didn't just stand around. They didn't get fans ejected. They played with the love of the game. They were competitive. They didn't start joining each other. I'll be damned, man, if all of a sudden we start seeing Therese Halliburton joining up with the Edwards or Nikola Jokic joining up with some of these other guys or Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic teaming up. You know what I'm saying? We'll be damned, man, if we start seeing that nonsense, because this is what we've been dealing with these fools from the 2010s, man. Everyone teaming up with each other, everyone hopping on each other's team, everyone smiling and having a good old time, everyone load managing, flopping all over the court, getting the fans ejected, right? Being all sensitive. Anytime you critique these guys, they get all emotional and sensitive about it, man. Dressing like the weirdos to the games. Now, I don't know if that's ever going to change, man, because some of these guys, they're just weird anyway, man. These guys think that they got swag, man, but they don't have the swag of the professional guys that I grew up watching, the grown men, because that's what we want. We want to watch grown men play basketball. I'm tired of watching these fools play, these soft, sensitive, feminine kids playing basketball. I want to watch some grown men, some true professionals go out there and battle and earn it. That's what I want to see, so that I can go and say, you know what? These guys are like the guys that I grew up watching, man. I can compare these guys to some of the previous era players. When you hear people talk about, oh, the great players would be great in any era, not these guys, not in this soft NBA. How could you ever say that the players of today's era would make it in past eras when this era is super soft? There's nothing that would lend you to believe this. These guys are falling down all over the court, man. Acting like a bunch of babies out there. Don't want to play through any kind of pain. So we done with the 2010s, the playoff edition, guys. Shout out to all the real basketball fans that are excited for this playoff season, man. We got rid of all the riffraff. All the riffraff is out of the playoffs, guys. We got rid of a lot of these fools, the James Hardens, right? The Joel Embiid is gone, even though he's not a 2010s era guy. He acts like them. He's a flopper. He's sensitive. He can't stay on the court. Right, he cries and moans for stats and accolades. He's crying for free throws. But we got rid of the James Hardens, the Joel Embiids, the weirdos Jimmy Butlers, right? The fragile Jimmy Butlers that runs his mouth even though he didn't play any minutes. The guy's running his mouth. We get rid of the Kevin Durant, the front-running Kevin Durant, right? We get rid of the Paul George, Pandemic P, so inconsistent. But people talk about how smooth his game is. I don't give a damn how smooth his game is. He's never there. Where's that smooth game when it matters most? Nowhere. It's never to be found, man. Right? And of course, we've done with LeBron James, and we've gotten rid of LeBron James in these playoffs. Man, the riffraff is gone, man. LeBron James and all of his excuses, his flopping around the court, crying and moaning to the referees, all of it's done. It's all gone, guys. Now we can sit back as true basketball fans and watch the playoffs and just be excited about playoff basketball. You know, guys, when I was growing up in the 80s and the 90s, even though Michael Jordan was my favorite player and I rooted for the New York Knicks, I had a lot of players that I rooted for. We liked a lot of these guys, man. Those are the facts, guys. Because the NBA was so popular back then, because the NBA was fun to watch. These guys had great personalities. They had charisma, some of these guys. Once again, they gave the effort. They played with the love of the game. So we respected these guys. So you could get behind these guys. It didn't matter who was playing. You would watch the games. Whereas in this era of NBA, you have to pick and choose what games you want to watch because you don't want to watch some of these guys. Some of these guys are not worth your time or worth your money. Also, some of these guys are not going to show up to work. So you think you're going to watch a good game, right? You be, hey, man, you want to come over? Yo, we're going to do a thing. We're going to watch this team versus this team. You turn the game on, and these guys ain't playing, right? Back in the day, we never worried about that. I never had to worry about this guy not showing up or that guy not showing up. You knew when the teams were on, the players on those teams were going to be there, man. So you could just watch any game. And that's how it feels right now with the playoffs. With all these idiots out of the playoffs, all the riffraff gone, all the soft fools from the 2010s, now that they're all gone, we can now enjoy the playoffs with real players, with the young talent that should have been getting more attention throughout the regular season, but they always want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James or Kevin Durant. They always want to talk about these idiots. They never want to talk about the young up-and-coming talent. So now we get to enjoy this stuff, guys, without having to worry about all this other nonsense, the NBA rigging games for some of these fools, these guys flopping all over the court, crying and moaning, walking off the court early. We don't got to deal with this stuff anymore, guys. We can watch actual basketball. The Timberwolves versus the Nuggets, OKC versus Dallas, New York versus Indiana, and Boston versus Cleveland. We can watch this stuff now and not have to worry about dealing with these morons. Like I said, man, let's hope this next era, this next generation will carry the torch, man, and flip the script on what we've been watching. Because all the generations, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, all those eras, man, they passed the torch to each other, right? The previous era passing it to the next era. And then the next era trying to prove upon and like I said, pushing the game forward. Think about it, guys. If the NBA was never getting pushed forward from the 50s into the 60s, into the 70s, into the 80s, into the 90s, if the game wasn't getting pushed forward, then the game would never have went global. The game would never be where it is today. But it was because of those previous eras pushing the game forward, not being stagnant. This is why the NBA went global and the NBA was a great product. It was the most popular it's ever been in the 90s. It was the golden era for a reason, guys. Why do you think you hear people talking about, oh, the USA basketball team, the world caught up to us? It's an excuse they use, guys, for the NBA becoming stagnant in this era. That's the only way. Think about it. You think the 92 Dream Team, if you drop them in Olympic play today, that they would struggle? All of a sudden now the 92 Dream Team, because the world caught up to us, these guys will not dominate? No, it's a joke, guys. It's another excuse for these fools of this era to excuse these guys for losing and never pushing the game forward. So they didn't push the game forward. They didn't improve upon the game. The game became whack. It became stagnant. Everyone's chucking up threes. No one's playing any defense. Guys don't want to hustle. They're soft and frail now. They don't have the heart, the grit, the toughness to compete. That was never the problem when I watched guys play, growing up. But they'll tell you today, oh, the world caught up to us, man. The world is better than it used to be. Yes, the world may have become better. But damn it, this is our game. You know, I heard Michael Jordan say one time during the 92 Olympics in Barcelona, and they asked him about the USA team's dominance. And Michael Jordan pretty much said, yeah, well, we're supposed to do this. It's our game. We taught the game to them. That's what Michael Jordan said. He pretty much said, how dare, people think that we're not supposed to dominate. We're supposed to dominate. And this is what I told you guys. The 92 Dream Team didn't take those guys lightly. They didn't go through the motions and lollygag. They went out there and gave their 100% all because they respected the competition. And these guys today, they don't do that, man. They think they're just going to go out there, go through the motions. They're going to win, chucking up some threes, not playing any defense, having no heart, no toughness. It's our game. We taught it to them. The only way the world could catch up to us is if we're standing still. Standing still. Think about it, guys. Let's think about soccer, for example. When you think about soccer for men's soccer, the USA is far, far away from some of these other European teams in soccer. Why is that? Because that's not our sport. That's their sport. They've been playing that sport for years and years and years. That's never been an American sport, soccer. But damn it, basketball is. Football is, right? Football, right? North American football, right? Do you think that we would ever lose if they put football North American football in the Olympics. Do you think we would lose? No, we wouldn't lose. We would dominate these other countries. It's our sport. We're supposed to be the best. Same thing with soccer. You don't see the USA dominating soccer. You see these other countries, Brazil and Argentina, right, and Italy, England. You see the European countries dominating a sport that they've always played. They've always played. But somehow, some way now, we can't win in basketball now because the world caught up to us. It exposes these guys, man. These are the facts, man. We're done with the 2010s, man. The playoff edition. Shout out to all the young talent in the playoffs. Shout out to all the NBA fans out there that are happy that you can sit back and watch these games and not have to deal with the nonsense, man. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.